Rainforest logging has been looked down on for many decades. Many people don't realize just how important utilizing natural resources are to our modern way of life. While it's true that rainforests are one of the most important ecosystems on our planet, I must argue against the proposition that rainforest logging should be banned. All the sources used for the speech were gathered from the Owens Community College online library. They consist of nature.org, rainforestalliance.org, and ukcop26.org. Logging in the rainforest has a largely negative stigma revolving around it, but without using the naturally occurring resources available, our world would change drastically. Firstly, logging is a crucial industry that provides jobs and livelihoods for many people around the world. Secondly, many logging operations are conducted sustainably and responsibly, with strict regulations in place to protect the environment and ensure that the impact on the rainforest is minimized. Furthermore, many products that we use in our daily lives, such as paper and furniture, are made from wood. While it is true that rainforests are one of the most important ecosystems on our planet, I must argue against the proposition that rainforest logging should be banned. Let me explain why. According to ukcop26.org, the leaders of 144 countries agreed to plan an end to rainforest logging during the 2021 UN Climate Change Conference UK21 Summit in Glasgow. They believe that outlawing logging in the rainforest by the year 2030 will make a huge positive impact towards stopping global warming, facilitate trade and developmental policies, and build resilience in rural communities. The leaders making these big decisions may have positive motivation in their decision making, but they are overlooking many positive key aspects brought by logging the rainforest. It's a large claim for these leaders to make, claiming that banning logging will bring nothing but positive effects to every industry and person involved. Firstly, logging is a crucial industry that provides jobs and livelihoods for many people around the world. By banning logging in rainforest, we would be taking away the income and livelihoods of countless individuals and communities who rely on this industry to survive. There is a way of thinking that has many people believe that the only business involved in rainforest logging are the loggers themselves. After the trees are logged, there's transportation for the logs, factory workers where they use the product, woodworkers, the companies who buy the products that were made in the factories, the salesmen and women who may be making commission from the sale of these products in the storefronts they're sold. If we went into every single house of the leaders' homes from the 2021 Global Warming Summit and took out every product made from trees in the rainforest, they probably wouldn't have a dining room table to eat at or chairs to even sit in. These leaders see logging the rainforest as one big whole. They're not thinking about or caring about the smaller roles that make a living, feed their families, and support their lives because of logging the rainforest. This way of thinking by people in positions of power has been a trend that's continued throughout history. They think about a big picture, claim everything will be fixed, but don't think about small parts of the cog that are affected negatively. Secondly, many logging operations are conducted sustainably and responsibly, with strict regulations in place to protect the environment and ensure the impact on the rainforest is minimized. The Forest Code, found on nature.org, explains these regulations and laws in place. Landowners in the Amazon must sustain 35 to 80% of natural vegetation on their property, ensuring that the land is not being cleared too heavily. A large part of the argument being used by the leaders pushing the ban is that wildlife is being destroyed. While it's true that trees are coming down, it's being done in a thoughtful and methodical order to ensure that wildlife has the space and environment needed to still thrive. The Conservancy also provides landowners with the tools and materials needed to restore degraded or cleared areas of land. By banning logging altogether, we'd be punishing those who follow these regulations and operate in an ethical manner, while not necessarily addressing the issue of illegal and unsustainable logging. Furthermore, many products that we use in our daily lives, such as paper and furniture, are made from wood. If we were to ban rainforest logging, we would need to find alternative sources of wood. This could lead to an increased deforestation in other areas of the world that simply can't afford to have the same number of resources removed from them. The rainforest is 2.72 million square miles. That's the size of Mexico, Mongolia, Peru, and Egypt all combined together. Given the regulations being enforced, there will still be millions of square miles of forest existing, while it's still growing back after they clear it. It's incredible to put the size of the rainforest into perspective. The regulations put into place are largely being followed so as not to disturb the rainforest and all the creatures that inhabit it. The logging companies don't want to negatively impact the rainforest either. That's why a lot of planning and prep goes into place before any clearing of trees occurs. If they overharvest and don't replant in the paths that they've cleared, then their businesses would run out of resources to harvest and make money from. The companies that are being painted as the destroyers of the rainforest by the leaders during the summit follow the regulations closely to ensure that rainforests stay profitable for them and inhabitable for animals who live there. Finally, it's important to recognize that rainforests are not just home to trees, but also to many different species of animals and plants. However, banning logging altogether could actually be detrimental to the environment in the long run. According to rainforestalliance.org, when logging is done sustainably, it can create a mosaic of different forest types, providing habitat for a diverse range of species. Without logging, the forest may become overgrown and homogeneous, leading to the loss of biodiversity. In simple terms, if the rainforest becomes overgrown, then the species that thrive better in a vegetational-rich environment will thrive, while others may disappear altogether. The regulations keep many areas protected from being logged at all if it's necessary, and has logging done in a way that mimics the natural patterns of disturbance and regeneration of the forest. They mimic the natural patterns so as to keep these clearings as natural as possible, helping the ecosystem naturally regenerate. Sustainable forestry balances the needs of the environment, wildlife, and forest communities. In conclusion, while we must certainly work to ensure that logging in rainforests is done sustainably and responsibly, banning it altogether isn't the answer. We must consider the economic and social impacts of such a ban, as well as the potential unintended consequences on biodiversity and the environment. The amount of negative impact a ban on logging the rainforest would have greatly outweighs the promise of positives that were suggested during the 2021 Climate Change Summit in Glasgow. They are suggesting these claims as a fact, when in all reality it's impossible to say exactly how anyone or anything would be affected by a ban on rainforest logging. While it is true that rainforests are one of the most important ecosystems on our planet, I must argue against the proposition that rainforest logging should be banned. All the sources that were used for this speech were gathered from Owens Community College online library. They consist of nature.org, rainforestalliance.org, and ukcop26.org. Logging in the rainforest has a largely negative stigma revolving around it, but without using the naturally recurring sources available, our world would change drastically. First, logging is a crucial industry that provides jobs and livelihoods for many people around the world. Second, many logging operations are conducted sustainably and responsibly with strict regulations in place to protect the environment and ensure the impact on the rainforest is minimal. Furthermore, many products that we use in our daily lives, such as paper, furniture, are all made from wood. Rainforest logging has been looked down on for many decades. Many people don't realize just how important utilizing these natural resources are to our modern way of life.